Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we're back with another episode of my weekly wears. This is episode 11. I feel like this week was pretty good and it was a good mix of, I would say, spring and fall fragrances, or fall winter fragrances even. As early as yesterday, it was really cold. So windy, cold, low 50s. So I had to bust out one of my favorite sort of winter fragrances. So I got to wear that, but let's get into the list. So on Sunday, I met up with some friends at a golf course. We didn't golf, but I brought the whole family. They have a sort of nice sitting area outside. We watched the Celtics game, bar there. So had some drinks and just kind of hung out, ate some food. Had a really nice day. Found it a good opportunity to wear this fragrance that I just recently added to the collection. I just did a first impressions video of this fragrance. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. Watch this one first, then go check out that video. But the scent I'm talking about is MFK Gentle Fluidity Silver. Man, this scent is fantastic. And I shouted out and I really like the cap, the inside of the cap. I don't know if you can see that, but there's just initials. And that's pretty cool. Two Ks back to back, obviously for Kirkshire, but this scent, fantastic. Oh, that juniper really jumps out at you in the beginning. It's super fresh, really aromatic. It's a little bit spicy, woody. It's a fresh spice. Yeah, I just love this one so much. It does remind me a bit of Green Irish Tweed from Creed, and shout out to the subscriber that first put this on my radar because it's one that I hadn't really thought of adding to the collection. I took a chance blind buying this, but this one I found is a bit harder to find on the discounters. But yeah, this scent, fantastic, perfect for the springtime, perfect for the summer. This is really a signature scent year round in my opinion. Not that it would wear particularly well in the winter in terms of like projection and lasting long and being able to cut through the cold, but I think this fragrance is just one of those fragrances that you could pull off anywhere. You can dress it up, you can wear it casually, you can wear it to a wedding, you could wear it to a birthday party, whatever the case may be, this scent is absolutely gonna work for you. And it's just so damn classy. Really well put together, really well rounded. Just super, the quality of this fragrance is second to none in my opinion, and that is apparent from the first spray. That juniper is a bit sharp, but it's just makes the fragrance really aromatic. It has sort of a green pininess to it. Again, that freshness, it's so good, so natural smelling. I absolutely love this one. I got fantastic longevity from this. I got over 8 hours. It lasted all day long. I wasn't shy with the sprayer. This one is definitely worth considering. I would say that if you have not tried Mason Francis Kirkshire fragrance, this one is probably a good starting point. If you, it's a safe bet in my opinion, but definitely test it if you can. I love this one. MFK's Gentle Fluidity Silver for Sunday. So this next fragrance is probably, like I said in other videos, my favorite cheapie pickup. It's one of the best cheapies I've ever bought, and one that I would have completely had ignored, to be honest, because of the house. They're known for their supercars and not necessarily for their fragrance. Scent I'm talking about, Lamborghini Millennials. This fragrance is, someone said, oh man, it's fantastic. I can't believe this is under $15. Just that pink pepper rhubarb opening, really bright and citrusy, has an earthiness to it. That rhubarb really adds earthiness to it. Pretty quickly as this starts to dry down, you get the cloves in this, you get the incense. Leather's also a note in this. I don't get a lot of the leather, but I do get the cashmere and I do get the patchouli. Someone said that this is niche quality, and at the time when I had first tried it and my first couple wears, I was still sort of on the fence with that idea. But the more I smell this and the more I wear it, I would have to agree with that. I would consider this niche quality, one being its uniqueness. It doesn't smell like anything I've smelled before. The dry down reminds me a bit of, there's some vanilla touches to it, that smokiness from the incense, and it reminds me a bit of Mason Margiela's By the Fireplace in the dry down. It's not a one for one of that, which it's just such an original scent to me. It's, like I said, it's really fresh, uplifting, sweet, peppery, spicy, sort of gentlemanly fragrance in the opening, and then as it dries down, you get some of that vanilla, amber, some of that spice sits around the incense, smokiness to it. It's just, it's kind of 2 scents in one, and they just work really well off of each other. Longevity, I get about 7 or 8 hours, so decent longevity. I wish the opening stuck around a little longer than it does. Again, that dry down is no slouch either. I really enjoy it. Love this one. Wore it on Monday. Lamborghini Millennials. So this next fragrance, I actually just picked up another sort of hyped flanker of this particular fragrance, and well, it's not a flanker of this, it's another flanker to the OG, just like this one is. But this one, a lot of people love this one. Some people don't like this one. I personally love it. I wore this on Tuesday. Scent I am talking about, Mugler's Pure Havana. That sweet cherry sort of accord that you get from this, blended with the tobacco and the honey, and it's a very sweet fragrance when you first spray it, but this scent is just comforting to me. I want to say this made my list for best fragrances to wear with a hoodie, and someone asked the question, well, what fragrance goes good with a hoodie? To me, it's just sort of that cozy, holding someone close, hanging inside, watching TV with a hoodie on, just chilling on the couch and relaxing. This is a very relaxing scent to me, and it's very likable. I wouldn't put it in the gourmandy category personally, because although it does have a lot of sweetness, it has also that tobacco, and the tobacco is sweet. It's not a particularly dry tobacco or leafy tobacco. It's sort of a sticky, sweet tobacco. But I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this one based on the notes. I think, honey and tobacco always work. They probably work pretty well together. There's also patchouli, styrax, cacao, amber, French lavender in this. But this is just a really likable scent, and I've been complimented on this one a few times, so it does garner compliments from people. You will get noticed with this fragrance. It doesn't remind me of a lot of things. There's a lot of sweet tobacco, fruity fragrances, but there's just something about the Amen DNA, that Mugler DNA, that makes this stand out to me, and I really enjoy it. I get decent longevity. I get about 7 hours longevity, but depending on if you spray this on clothes, it's gonna last a good amount of time. Usually until the next day, I can smell it on my clothes. So really love this one. Wore this one on Tuesday. Amen, Mugler, Pure Havana. And a really cool bottle. I have 0 issues with the atomizer. People don't like it because it's sort of part of that sort of rubbery top, and it's flush with the rest of it, so you gotta kind of find the atomizer. But I don't know, love this stuff. I could spray it all day. So on Wednesday, I went with a fragrance that is a recent addition to my collection. It's one that I've smelled many times off of a strip. Never had tried this on skin. I found a bottle of it for a really great price, grabbed it to add to the collection, and it is quickly becoming my favorite from the house, which is a house that I talk about a lot on this channel. I think for affordability and quality of the fragrance, really, I can't think of one that is better, in my opinion, and originality of the scents that they create. But the scent I am talking about is John Barbados Vintage. This thing is incredible. At first, it has almost a medicinal fruitiness to it. It is a dark fruit. Rhubarb is what I'm getting. And rhubarb can go two ways. It can be really earthy and smell like a root, or it can be fruity. And this is on the fruity side for me. Also, quince is another note in this. And this fragrance, I mean, this thing has so much depth for what you pay. The quality of the scent is niche quality, in my opinion. And that's not talked about enough when we talk about John Varvatos Vintage. Gets talked about a lot, but I've never really heard people sort of describe it as leaning in that niche direction. And when I smell this, that's what I get personally. It's just so unique to anything I've smelled. That dark, fruity, medicinal sort of opening. It is classy, it's gentlemanly, really can work in any situation, any season for that matter. You know, it's gonna work really well in the spring and fall months, where you're gonna have some cooler days, but I think you could get away with this definitely wearing this on a hot day, at night, like in the evening, out to dinner, on a date. It's just a really well put together scent. As this dries down, there is some greenness to it. There is a suede in this that I pick up a great deal of in the dry down, along with some tonka bean. And this is also aromatic. It has lavender. It's almost barbershop-y in some, when I get some whiffs of it. And it changes so much and develops on your skin, and it's just so interesting. Such a good fragrance. If you guys try anything from the house of John Varvatos, I implore you to try Vintage. For the longest time, I didn't own a bottle because I really enjoyed the OG John Varvatos, the first fragrance from the house. I really love that one. And I don't know, maybe for the longest time, I told myself that they were kind of close. This was the second release from the house, as far as I know, but I was wrong. And, you know, I'm so happy to have a bottle of this now because this is gonna get a lot of wear. You guys are probably gonna see this pop up on a lot of lists. I went fairly heavy with this, lasted all day long. That does not happen with John Varvatos fragrances. A lot of times they get criticized, obviously, for poor longevity, poor performance. But this one, really great projection for the first couple of hours. And then in addition to that, I sprayed my chest, sprayed my clothes, and it lasted all day. I could smell this all day long. So, and that's 8+ hours. So it just could be skin chemistry. Let me know in the comment section below if you get the same performance from this. But I absolutely love this one. Wore it on Wednesday, John Varvatos Vintage. So this next scent I actually don't have a full bottle of. It was just a sample sent to me by another channel, Grown Man Style. Ryan over at Grown Man Style actually sent me this to try it out. This has been recently announced as being discontinued. A lot of people love this scent, really hype it up, and it's one of their go-tos in the warmer months. The scent I am talking about is Bulgari's Aqua and L'Antique. So this scent, I have a little bit left in the sample Ryan sent me. I'm gonna put a little bit on skin, and you might say, well, in hindsight's 2020, you might say, well, why'd you do that if you're gonna tell us what your experience with it was? Okay, so the day that I wore this, I did not, okay, it's starting to come through a bit. I get a little bit of that rotten egg smell that people get, and it's off-putting. This scent is way better, in my opinion, in the dry down. When I first wore this, when I first gave it a full wear, I thought I was gonna have to wash it off. And that's the vibe I'm getting right now as I smell it from my hand. I don't know if it's a mix of the ambergris with the saltiness there's something, it just smells like food, but not like in a sweet gourmandy type way. It smells like someone cooked and left the pans on the stove for like 3 days. I don't know how else to describe it. I was really disappointed because I was really wanting to like this fragrance, but it gives me sort of the same vibes, and you guys know I dislike Sean John 3 AM. There's just something about that scent that I hate, and this is up there with that. Really disappointed because, like I said, I know people really enjoy this scent. When I had tested it, when he first sent it to me, I just put a little bit on my hand and tried it and said, oh, that's nice. It smells pretty good. It wasn't until this first full wear where I had sort of a lot of it on. And I don't know, it just really, I'm getting it now. It's the saltiness, but also it has this undertone of just rotten eggs. And up until now, that's something that I've heard people describe, not only this fragrance, but other ones. Some people get it from light blue, Intense. So I'm getting this for the first time. In any of all the fragrances that I've tried, I've never gotten that rotten egg accord until this one. So yeah, really disappointed. Lasted forever, lasted all day on my skin. And as I said, that dry down was way more bearable. As it dries down, that rotten egg smell sort of dissipated, although there was a hint of it left pretty much throughout the life of the fragrance. And then, if I concentrate, I do pick up some of the real sweet, appealing aspects of this fragrance. But for the most part, there's just something in this that doesn't work. I don't know if it's like I said, the amber in combination with that benzoin and the ambergris and the salty accords. Something's not working for me, and I just did not like it. So I wore this on Thursday. Will not be purchasing a full bottle of this. As that may be pretty obvious, but nonetheless, Bulgari's Pour Homme Aqua Atlantique. So on Friday, I had to redeem myself and go with an old standby, one that I absolutely love. Love this fragrance. Has been getting more talk than it did even a year ago or 2 years ago for that matter. I think this is one, when it first came out, there was a lot of sort of just, it's okay, disappointment, kind of average, but I think over time, this scent has grown on a lot of people, especially if you can find it at a really great price. Gets compared to Roche's Elysium. I have not smelled that fragrance, so I can't make the comparison or tell you how closely it resembles that fragrance. I would love to try that fragrance at some point. I know a lot of people love that one. But I love this one as well. So, scent I'm talking about, if you haven't figured it out already, Hugo Reversed. So Hugo Reversed is one that I saw periodically pop up at the rack stores, and I saw a great price on it. Fantastic atomizer, by the way. It's just so good. That grapefruit mixed in with that Calabre and lemon. There's some vetiver in this. It's citrusy, it's fresh, it has some rosemary in it, so it adds some of that herbal greenness almost. And on my skin, this smells so good. This is one of those ones on a hot day, it just pops, and you're gonna get whiffs of it throughout the day. Doesn't have fantastic longevity. I got about 6-7 hours on it, but this is one that you can spray a bit heavier and not feel like you're choking anybody out or you're gonna offend anyone. It's just such a likable scent, and it's so fresh and just uplifting and enjoyable to wear. It makes me happy. It's one of those scents that you're gonna smell it and just say, man, it just does something to you. It just makes you happy, it's uplifting, makes you feel good and feel like you are one of the best smelling guys in the room for sure. This scent you can get at a really great price. I'm gonna link it down below, and I would personally buy the biggest bottle. My understanding is that this is discontinued, or I don't know if that's true, but I think they're still making it, but it is pretty available in the rack stores from time to time. Not all the time though. Sometimes you'll see it for a week or two. They have like 3 or 4 bottles and then it's gone, and then you don't see it for a few months. So if you see this out in the rack stores, absolutely pick it up. I think this is 100% safe blind buy. It's my favorite canteen style Hugo Boss, and they have a few other fragrances in this sort of style of canteen. Hugo Iced, I believe, is in the canteen. This is my favorite by far. Fantastic scent, love this one. Definitely pick it up, blind buy worthy. Great cheapie, Hugo Reversed. So on Saturday, I had a first Holy Communion party to go to. My friend's son made his first Holy Communion, and it was outside and in the backyard. They were cooking, they were grilling, there was appetizers and trays of food, but here in Boston, it was super windy and really cold. Felt like it was in the 40s. It got as high as 51 yesterday. This fragrance and the scent I am talking about, Armani's Stronger With You. This scent I've grown a new appreciation for. That sweetness, you got pink pepper up top, it's warm and spicy. It's fresh. That spiciness coming from the cardamom. There's some violet leaf in this, mint, pineapple, sage, lavender, melon, a chestnut accord. There's lots of notes to this fragrance, and I would say that it has depth to it. It changes a lot. In the beginning, it's warm, spicy, fresh, with some greenness to it, probably coming from that mint. But then it continues to warm up. It has a lot of sweetness, but in the best way possible. And then as it dries down, you get more of that chestnut accord. And I have grown to appreciate this scent more. And I think the reason for it is because you have fragrances like the Most Wanted. And people say the Most Wanted is the best in the line. I would agree. I haven't tried the Parfum yet, but I like it more than Wanted by Night. I like it more than the original Wanted. But this scent, where it has that quote unquote bubblegum sweetness, I think it does it better than those scents. So this gets compared a lot to the Most Wanted. My opinion, this is a better scent overall. And I think that's because the Most Wanted to me isn't as deep. It isn't as complex as this scent. Not that this is overly complex, but I just pick up more notes. There's more going on in this scent to me, and it's just more fun to smell, in my opinion, if that makes any sense. It works better on my skin. It's not just straight sweetness, although it is pretty sweet. If you don't like sweet fragrances, you may have to definitely test this one and see if you like it. But it just, to me, there's some complexity to it that some of those other scents that are in the same vein as this, those sweet bubblegummy fragrances, that there's something that they lack that this has. And I just love it. It's really great longevity. I get about 8+ hours with it. The dry down is really nice. In the dry down, I get sort of a woody, nutty, vanilla, warm, spicy dry down with a bit of musk. And it is just fantastic. This, for a long time, was hyped by Jeremy. And he would talk about this as being a clubbing scent. I think that is valid. I think you could definitely wear this to the club, and I think it's a bit more put together for a club scent. I think this is a bit more versatile and more grown man type club. I really love this one. Like I said, great longevity. Really happy I got to wear it, and I'll probably pull this out on a couple summer nights, to be honest, because it just has that DNA that is sort of addictive, and it's that you kind of want to keep going back and smelling it. Glad I wore this on Saturday. Stronger With You from Armani. That's all I have today, guys. I truly appreciate you watching this video till the end. We are approaching 900 subscribers, and you guys are fantastic. I said it, in other videos, but I truly appreciate all the support from you guys. It has been nothing short of amazing, and I can't wait to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. You guys are helping me get there, and I have something special planned for when we do. So stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comment section below what you wore this week. Again, one of my favorite parts of doing these videos is seeing what you guys wore, and it gives me ideas and reminds me of certain fragrances that I've wanted to try, and I like sort of going back and forth with you guys and finding out what you wore. If you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.